1 year ago, I made this video. Worst state yet. Some tough love. Ranting on the new update. Thumbnail, they ruined the game. Dramatic, not at all whatsoever. Am I sometimes a hyperbolic person? Of course. Of course. We all know me. I can be a little bit facetious, but no. In this video, you can see, you watch it, I'm barely keeping it together with how insanely frustrating Battlefield 2042 was at the start of its launch. It just shows you what Battlefield was like a year ago. It was obvious that Battlefield released as an alpha game. They released it in a worse state than the beta was. It was bad. It was the worst game launch I have ever personally experienced in my life. It was the Battlefield 2042 flop has gone down in history among the worst games of all time. And not necessarily because it was so bad at the start, definitely part of it, but more so because of how long it's taken for them to get it to where it needed to be. More than a year later, it is now finally at the point that it should have been at launch. I don't say it lightly, because those of you who've been here for a year and have seen these Battlefield videos that I've made, you know exactly how honest that I have been about the game, what was good about it, what was bad about it. 6 months ago, I made the video saying that Battlefield is not a game at all, that it was a collage of experiences artificially manufactured to provide you with the game they wanted you to have. I stand by everything that I have said. The game was in such an alpha state that, you know, and it was extremely obvious that the game was not finished, even to the point where the scopes that they had for the snipers were placeholder scopes. They went in and changed the reticle the first update that they could. And here's the main issue. If they had said, you know what, guys, we're really sorry, we're not done. This is not gonna be done in time. So what we're gonna do is release the game to you on an alpha basis and say, you guys can play the game while we work on it and improve it, and you guys can play test it, and cool, but just realize things are gonna change, we're gonna improve everything. It's about a year away from being finished. Then we all would have been, you know, disappointed but understanding, because I think by and large gamers are okay with that, you know. Like, we're playing Star Citizen. Star Citizen has proven gamers don't care what you call a game, whether you call it an alpha, whether you call it a playtest, whether you call it a beta. What they care about is having a fun time. It's very simple. We as gamers are extremely forgiving as a community. Yeah, there's plenty of toxic idiots out there, but by and large, we understand, you know? We are at the most forgiving place that I have ever seen gaming community generally in my life. We are okay with too much. We let things slide way too much. But on the other side of that coin, we're willing to wait. We're willing to let the developers do their thing because it ends with a fun product for us. But Battlefield 2042 did not do that. They were not honest. They sold it as a finished game and tried to cover their asses and patch things as they went, which obviously did not go well. I remember about a month or two in, the Battlefield player count on Steam was less than 1,000 people. It was less than 1,000 people at one point. That's like everyone one person knows is playing the game. Like, you don't even have to use 6 degrees of separation to know everybody who was playing Battlefield, because it was that bad. And it wasn't that there were bugs, and it wasn't that there were issues. It was that every bug was a game-breaking bug, and all the communication, if there was any, from DICE, from EA, was ambiguous and useless. And you sum it all up by saying the launch of Battlefield 2042 was a slap in the face to every Battlefield fan and gamers in general. I don't think the developers wanted it to be out. I mean, I wouldn't have wanted it to be out if I had my signature on that game. So that was Battlefield 2042 for the first year of its launch. It was very bad, it was a little less bad, and then it was slightly bad. And then Season 3 comes around. I had uninstalled the game, I was not playing the game, and it took some convincing, but I did re-download the game, and as you have seen, I have been playing the game again. And I'm here to tell you, Battlefield 2042 is now at the level that it should have been at launch. It has all the minimum requirements for Battlefield. The game is overall fun. There are now a few maps that are good. That's not an easy thing for me to say, right? Because we've had a year of being conditioned to just harden our hearts towards Battlefield 2042 so as not to get hurt time and time again. It's not perfect. There are still things I don't like about it. The main problem with Battlefield now is the quote-unquote tick rate. Servers need work. That in and of itself is a victory considering what it started out as, non-playable. Is it the best FPS game out there? Actually, maybe. Actually, maybe. Because FPS games are at an all-time suckishness at the moment. Anyway, all this to say, here's my proposal now, okay? I'm gonna say that for the people who have held out playing it, it's pretty good now. Hopefully you tried it when it was free last month. And this is for all of us who were burned by the game previously. We have two options now. Option number one, burned once and it's too late. It's too late. It's been a year. They had all the chances in the world. It's not like they're an indie dev company. They had all the funding they could ever need. They had a year to fix it, and I'm not going back. It's too late. Battlefield 2042 does not deserve my playtime. They have shown us that they don't care, and I'm good. I'm done with Battlefield. It failed, and it doesn't deserve a fifth chance. And you know what? That's option one. And as you can probably tell, I feel it. That's definitely a way that I feel. Rightly so. The only way that a lot of us can feel about Battlefield 2042 is betrayed, saddened, disappointed, and that's just the natural human emotion when stuff like this happens. Here's option two. Option two is we try the best we can and forget the baggage. We let go of the baggage. We let go of those feelings and boot up the game like it's the first day we've played it. Try our best to forget all the bad times that have plagued this game. Try to forget all of the things about option one and pretend that season 3 was launch day. I think if we're gonna go into it with the mindset of option one, if we encounter something that's slightly wrong or we encounter a bug, it's going to trigger that PTSD of experiencing the game and experiencing so many disappointments. It all adds up, you don't get rid of that stuff unless you do it on purpose. If you do that and are able to do that successfully, I think you'll have a good time. I am, because like I said, it's now what it should have been at launch, and moving forward it should only get better. So those are our two options in my eyes. It's the only thing we can do, either hold the grudge and not play, or let it go and pretend like it's new and have a good time. And I 100% understand if people choose option one. I totally get it. I almost did myself. Here's the problem with option one. I'm going to tell you the downside, because yeah, they deserve your playtime? Not necessarily. I mean, there's definitely an argument to be made that no, they don't. They've proven that they don't deserve it, and that's fine. It's all well and good. The problem is, if you boycott the game, all you're going to do is hurt yourself. I'm not saying you'll be hurt by not playing the game. I'm just saying there is fun to be had now. And if you don't have that fun because you're holding a grudge against DICE or EA, they're not going to know. They're not going to get the message. Not playing the game just on principle, which I respect, it doesn't actually do anything. Whereas in option 2, we can just choose to go in fresh and experience the fun that we should have had this whole past year. Especially if you've already spent the money and you've got the game, re-download it, go in fresh, and just have fun. It's Battlefield, and it has those Battlefield moments that no other game has. So don't miss out on the fun because you've been burned. If you want to miss out because you're playing something else, you just don't feel like it, then cool, whatever. Just realize there is fun to be had if you want it. So that's my spiel as to Battlefield 2042 and how far it's come. Congrats to the dev, honestly, because it was not going to be easy for them to make this game into a game, but they've done it, and it took them a while, but they have done it. So congrats to them. There's part of me that's tempted to say, I hope it doesn't get played. I hope they don't recover, because it should not be a thing that games are developed like this. You know, it's just my bitterness that is saying that, and I need to just say, I hope the game flourishes. Honestly, I do. I hope everybody starts playing it again, and we have a great time all playing together. You know, screw the negativity. I'm letting go of the grudge, and I'm saying, let's all go have a good time in Battlefield and play Battlefield together. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you going to take option 1? Are you going to take option 2? Are you going to take a mystical third option I don't know about? Let me know. I'm really curious to see where you guys are on this, because a lot of you guys have been on this journey with me. Are you playing it again? Are you liking it? Or is it over for you? Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Join the Discord. Hope to see you out there on the battlefield. I'll see you later.